Happy Saturday. This is one of those little drums I got off of Facebook. You know, it's like listed as a shaman drum and it has the picture of it. And it makes it look like this is really wood. And it'll show a different cover, usually like something that's more of a, looks like a skin cover. And it was like 35 bucks, something like that. I thought it was kind of cool. And I was like, well, and it's like about the size I want. And lo and behold, it's like those 3D digital print things there. That's the handle. So yeah, it is fabricated wood type thing. And then yeah, that's, you know, obviously the synthetic. I mean, and I wasn't really expecting an animal skin. Let's keep it real. But it's my drum, my little drum. So, you know, I kind of look at it because it was like most of us know that we're not supposed to like hang our drum up on the wall like a display, the drums that we use. But when a drum either, you know, is worn out, you know, something broke on it or whatever, a lot of times I will hang it up on that one up on the wall, but I don't play them anymore. So actually I will stick this up on a shelf or in a corner or, you know, something as a display. And when I don't want a really loud drum, this actually works really well. So happy Saturday, everybody. Greeting the day, bringing it in. Enjoying our energy. My hair looks kind of, yeah, I just finished a couple sessions, so my hair is like kind of, Saturdays are great days for shamanic sessions. So those of you that have been thinking about making an appointment and you're like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, soul retrieval, soul journeys, any of the shamanics, are wonderful on a weekend. We just don't have as much traffic, and usually I'm the only one here, or Matt might be here too, Matt and Thomas, with the crystals, but I'm usually the only practitioner here, so that allows us to be really quiet, you know, or allows it to for more quiet. And then, of course, to burn all of the incense, sage, smudge, whatever that we need. So we're blessing our space today. And you'll see that this is the sacred white sage. Or white sage, you know, they call it sacred. And I always like to do my hands. I'm funny about that. It's like, especially because I know I'm going to be touching the cards and I want to remove all bias, preconceptions, whatever from what my hands may touch. And I'm touching the cards, so I'm going to always bless the cards as well. So those kind of things are really important for those of you that are interested in learning how to read or how to use oracle cards. I'm not a real big fan of tarot cards. I mean, I read them, don't get me wrong, but I don't read them in traditional tarot concept. I've taken classes and studied what each one means. But I am from heart a Carl Jung philosophy. Here we go. There's some there. That we are all have intuition and discernment. And it usually just takes a picture to trigger it. So I'm a picture looker. Even on the internet, it's funny. Is I'll look at, like they'll talk about, you know, famous people or something to that effect, and I like reading their pictures. And I'm usually eerily accurate with it. I was doing an angel healing yesterday, and it was so strange because I was just, you know, I've done several for this lady before, and I asked her, I said, well, do you have any particular intentions today? And she said, zero. Just zero. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I just want to go with the flow. So once she said that, and the white pillars were set, it was so amazing what happened. I mean, and it just, the vibration, the frequency were really high vibe, and I could hear it. Okay, that one's sticking out in my ear. And I had just a really good angelic healing session with this lady. And then, so after the session, so after we're done with the actual session, I tell her all of the notes that I have written during the session, anything that came through, whatever, it's all down on paper. And I read it over to her so that, you know, I'm planting that seed. And then I hand you that paper. I handed her paper. But she started crying. And sometimes that bothers me, but it didn't bother me yesterday. Because when she started crying, I knew at that point that something that she had going on in her spirit had been released or answered, something along that fact. So I was like, yeah, this is a really good reading. So that's another session that I would suggest. And I would really suggest, if you're wanting one of the more spiritual sessions, to do those either early in the day, late in the evening, or on a weekend. If you're in, I just need some cupping, or, you know, I want a raindrop Vitaflex, something like that, that's more about the aches and pains and getting the physical body in alignment. Any time of the day, weekend, or whatever is cool for that. But the more spiritual sessions, really early in the day, really late in the day, or on the weekends. So anyway, we're doing our finance reading this week. We're using the Urban Crows, and I realized I left all of my money decks, my ones that focus on finance, money matters. I left them at home, and I'm over here at the office in Oklahoma City. So I was like, shish. And then I get this little, you know, like message, this voice that says, you need to talk about the workplace. Workplace stuff is really important. So get the Urban Crows. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to wing this reading with the Urban Crows. So do me a great big favor and love this video. Comment where you're watching from. Something cool, whatever. And don't forget to share this video. And when you share the videos and you comment and you love it, guess what? You are entered into my weekly reading for a remote reading. So let's rock and roll. We are using the Urban Crows, as in we are talking about the workplace. And our first card today is, let's check this baby out, is Luck. So we're talking about things being in a good place, good time, and I'm getting, you know, just not a positive per se, but a forward moving flow. So things are in a good place. Whatever you've been doing in the last couple of days is bringing up some really good vibration. So keep doing that. Keep doing that. All right. Our obstacle card is Soar. And kid you not, the song from Evita. Yeah, that musical Evita. Yes, I have been to that. I've seen Evita. I actually saw it with Patti LuPone. Anyway, long story short, there's a song on there called High Flying and Adored. And this is when Evita starts getting well known in the social circles and starts getting a little bit more abundance and wealth coming into her life, as well as Juan Perón. And so High Flying and Adored, and that was the song that played in my head when this card came up. So let's talk about this for just a second. Whoops. There we go. So let's talk about this for just a second. When we're seeing this Soar card as an obstacle, then we're looking at that, that sometimes people can shoot up to the sky really, really quickly, be very famous, get rich fast, hit at the casino, hit the lottery. And what you do with that luck, determines what the outcome is. So this week you're going to be hitting into a really good sense of luck. I guess we're going to have to do that with the other hand. And however, you need to pay attention to what happens, because you're not going to be following a natural routine. Things are going to be different. And there are causes and effects when things are different. Okay, so you see that routine was upside down and it's in the help place. So this tells me that we're going to be caught kind of off guard and in a new zone, like, oh hell, what do I do? But this is all good stuff. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're talking about luck, good things, a bonus, a big winning, something along that line's coming in, but you're caught off guard, and it does take you into a different place. There we go. All right, so what's happening with that? Dominance, and I'm getting somebody needs to wear the pants in this. They're going to have to be bringing in a lot of direction and accountability in what they're doing. So it's kind of like, wearing the pants, being very, very much that person that's in charge. So I'm going to take these so that we've got space here. What do you got? What do you got stashed back? Because you're going to have to kind of go back into where you have things literally stashed back. And start, and I'm going to say getting it organized and inventoried, looking at where things are and where they need to be for your perfect timing. This is a lot of, I'm getting a really heavy energy about timing, perfect timing. This is something that is going to be around for a long time. It is a long time commitment where, and I'm like, what I'm seeing in here, and you're like, where do you get a long-term commitment? Well, from commitment, but I'm seeing these circles, and then I'm seeing them feed each other. So it's like this commitment that we work synergistically. I'm going to be synergistic with this event, this episode, this experience, and this experience is going to take me to some new levels, new life. A lot of choice. Having choice, and I'm like, wow, this is a really good freaking reading about the workplace, because I almost had a drudge about, like, shush, you know what if it's just like all negative stuff? I don't want to hear, I don't want to be the bearer of bad tidings. But what I'm seeing here, just a quick little recap if you're just catching in, is that we're coming into this little place of luck, and that the tables have turned, and things that we've been working on are coming through. Those projects up here are being, acknowledged. A lot of good stuff happening, and you're going to be high flying and adored, which means that you're going to get a lot of abundance, a lot of wealth, a lot of recognition, a lot of social really quick. Okay, don't let it go to your head where you cannot be focused on moving forward in progression. And that's what this is talking about. These things are really good. You're going to be high flying and adored. Be mindful of that. Don't get caught in a egotistical loop on that. Okay, so that freedom, being able to do what we want to do, but we find out that not all of that is exactly the truth, that some things are downplayed in commitment, downplayed in the level of attention and focus. Because, and I'm going to say, if you knew how difficult things could be, okay, now we're getting our reality check, shit. If we knew exactly how difficult things could be, we might not have agreed to come aboard. We may not have agreed to come aboard. So I guess that's why I've got the musical Evita playing. Because I think that if she knew what was going to happen, she may not have joined forces there. This is not a time of recreation, but a time of what I'm getting is hard work. Okay, so this kind of comes to my mind on here when I see this play card. It kind of gave me a flashback. And in this flashback, it was when I started teaching in adult education. And our director of education, his name was Rick. He was and long story short, he was giving us a lecture on edutainment and talking about how when we were educating and we were facilitating the learning experience for adults in adult education, that we had to provide things like job stories and do cliffhangers, before break, so they would want to come back to break, from break to see what we were going to talk about in the next hour. And it was like you have to make it like edutainment. Well, edutainment is a lot harder than standing at the front of the classroom and just giving a lecture and then the assignment. You have to put a lot of self into it. So when I look at this play card, and let's take a look at it again here. Boop. That play card in the upside down, I'm getting that message of edutainment. It's going to be a lot of hard work that you have to make it look entertaining or engaging for people to start following what you want them to follow, what you want them to do. The isolation card comes in, and it's talking about we need to, and I'm laughing because I get the phrase, get out of the closet, but it's not that kind of connotation in closet. It's about closeting ourselves off from other people or being in a breakdown kind of mode. Now, when I'm talking about breakdown, I'm not talking about like the emotional breakdown. I'm talking about that cathartic breakdown after something that is been cumbersome or quasi-traumatic in your life, and you just need to take a break. And I'm going to turn off the TV. I'm going to shut my phone down. I'm going to listen to the old MP3s of some recordings of my favorite playlist. That's it. No TV, no nothing. No internet. That kind of breakdown is what we're talking about. And this is about you coming out of that breakdown so that you can start growing, so you can start doing some stuff, some cool stuff on your path through there. I was going to say people start to notice you. You've exposed yourself. You chose to do that. And you're the one that's going out on a limb. So be mindful on how you introduce yourself, or how you introduce yourself to the general public, to the people. They may not want to know the TMI. So be mindful about the TMI, the too much information. I'm like, dang it, and I gave it TMI. Curiosity does not always kill the cat, but you have to think about it from a crow's perspective. What you start looking for, what you start looking at, you will find the answers to what you're looking for. And it actually brings you into this really good place of community. And I'm also getting a sense of balance, as above, as below. Just, I'm getting a really good sense of balance that each one of them complements. And I'm laughing. I was like, the flower seeds, the birds eat the flower, eat the seeds, then they drop the seeds. And the seeds make flowers, the roots allow for the tree to grow, and then that's where the crows can rest. So there's a lot of balance through there, and so you're going to be going into a really good place here. It's out of pure luck. Out of pure luck. A lot of it, yeah, I'm going to say was hard work got you to that place of of pure luck. However, don't hesitate to be mindful about what you're doing and where you're going. You are going to stick out like like an anomaly, a rarity, and I'm meaning that in a good way. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. So take that bull by the horns, and when luck comes by, I'm going to say, be on your best behavior. Be mindful on how you accept that luck. Be mindful on how you accept that luck. So I hope you enjoyed today's financial forecast. Do me a favor, buy me a cup of coffee. Yeah. Do something different. Or send me some stars. That would be great as well. Make an appointment. OklahomaHealingConnection.com. Peace, love, and harmony. I got a lot of cool things on sale for the 29th.